Hey guys, it's Joe with Modern Survival Sense. This video is displaying my fire kit. I am a big proponent for campfires. Anytime I'm out camping, hiking, backpacking, whatnot, I love having a nice campfire. And as such, I love being able to make them and being able to set them up in every step of the process. I'm a little OCD, I guess. But anyways, campfires are very nice. They're good for warmth. They're good for light. They're very calming. I like sitting around them, and they're good for cooking. So I like making them. And before you is my current primary fire kit. Now, what you see it in is actually a fairly inexpensive case. This is a Plano waterproof case. If you see, there's a red gasket that goes the entire circumference of the case, and it protects it from water. And I like to have my fire kit in a waterproof container so that I don't have to worry about anything getting wet, especially if you need a fire desperately, right? Okay, let's go ahead and get this open. This, by the way, the Plano case that I'm using is the 3440 for any of you that want to get this. It's actually a fairly decent size. It's not overly large. I do have an OtterBox case that's actually a lot larger than this. The thing about the OtterBox cases is they're also a lot heavier. This is actually fairly lightweight, and I believe this fire kit weighs in less than, I believe it's less than my OtterBox kit empty, or OtterBox box empty. So at this time, this is my preferred method of storing my fire kit. One thing you'll learn from my fire kits is that I prefer repetition or redundancy. You should hear that a lot in any type of survival or preparedness type of video. If you're not, you're watching the wrong ones, because any good plan can go wrong. You should have a backup plan, and that's how you prepare to succeed. Alright, inside this, I'm going to show you my primary methods of starting fires. Now in here you're going to have two different items, and that's going to be your fire starter and your fire tinder. There's actually something else that I keep in all of my fire kits as well. So actually we have three different items in here. We have the fire starters, the fire tinders, and I also have a backup knife. So I could take this kit into any situation, theoretically any situation, and I should be able to start a fire, provided the wood's available. Alright, so inside my fire kit is a small fixed blade knife. Folding blade knives are nice. However, fixed blade knives are better. If you have the choice of a fixed blade over a folding knife, I would definitely suggest going with the fixed blade, because there's no mechanisms that'll fail you. They're sturdier. The design itself is stronger. And what you're seeing here is actually a cheapy fixed blade knife. This is from Ka-Bar. It's the Becker BK13. I think it's, I don't know, 20 bucks or so. It's not too expensive. But basically this is a backup knife in case my other knives fail me, which I'll normally have probably two knives and maybe more if I'm really going crazy about it. So for my backup knife, or my fire kit knife, I have the BK13. It's full tang. It doesn't have any handles, but it's not necessary. Really what you're looking for is something that you can create feather sticks and do light work with. Basically your fire prep knife, right? Alright, so there's our knife. Now for fire starting, your fire starters, The method that I use to start my fires is a ferrocerium rod. Typically, I will go with a softer model, or what some people may call it a mish metal fire steel. This one was actually given to me from someone on the Blade forums, and this is in my kit currently. It's pretty nice. It only has about 1.5 inches exposed. I do kind of prefer a little bit more than that, but this is very adequate for starting fires. So this is my primary means of starting fires, or starting my kindling. But always, always, always have a backup. Now, your primary backup should, if you don't have one, a Bic lighter. Something that is very, very reliable. Now, in weather conditions that are rainy or snow, you know, obviously you don't want to get this wet because it'll cause it to malfunction and not work properly until it dries out. But if it's dry, this will work very, very nicely. And I have a mini Bic, obviously. And if you notice, there is no safety feature. That's because I don't need a safety feature. I know how to operate a lighter. I'm not going to burn my house down. What you do is the little latch that's in there is you take something in there and you can just basically pry it up, and it makes this lighter a lot easier to light. It's almost foolproof now. And obviously you see it's bright green. Not that bright green's my favorite color, but it is very high visibility. So if the sun's starting to set and your lighter's sitting out and you're looking around for it, it's going to be a lot easier to find something that is bright green than, say, black or a darker color. Alright, that's our second form of fire starting. Our third and final starter is in this match case. And this is my emergency matches. I don't open this up unless those two methods aren't working, and typically those two methods will always work. Now, this is a cheap $1 match case that I got out of it was the outdoors or sporting goods section at Walmart. $1. Now, I think it's a Coleman's match case. It is waterproof. It has a little rubber gasket that goes the entire route or entire circumference of the match case. You don't want to tighten it up too much, otherwise it'll spread that gasket out and it may not be completely watertight. However, it actually comes with matches, so for $1 you get a match case that's waterproof and matches, as well as a backup fire steel or a ferrocerium rod. Not that I would ever use this because it's kind of small compared to, really. But the whole reason why I got it is for the match case, and I took the matches out there somewhere else for other uses. And what I did is I filled them up with Better Matches. And these Better Matches are actually the UCO weatherproof matches. And these are the large ones. They will burn for 15 seconds or so, and they will handle being wet. Well, once they're lit, they'll handle being wet or put in dirt and other things. But what I've done is I put a piece of cotton down here at the base to keep the striker from lighting, because the last thing you want is 14 matches to go up in flames inside of a sealed container. That'd be like a well, anyways, it wouldn't be good. So I have a piece of cotton ball down at the base so that it doesn't strike anything, and then I also have a piece in the cap at the top, just like so. And this is how they have their normal match cases as well. They put a piece of cotton at the top. And the reason why I'm using this versus the standard match case that comes with the UCO matches is that the standard one doesn't fit overly well. You can get it to fit into this case. It's just it has to sit in a certain spot in between these supports, whereas this one will fit perfectly anywhere inside the case. So that is my third and final means of starting fires. And inside this case, I have 14 of those UCO matches. All right, now we go to the tinder. Um, let's see, my third favorite, and it doesn't mean it works any less or any worse than the other two. I have a couple of hexamine tablets in here, and these are obviously Blute tablets. This is leftover of some box of Blute tablets that I got some time ago. Well, these work very well because you can scrape off the side into a pile and light it with a ferro rod. And I keep a couple of these. You don't need a full cube to light a fire. You could break them up. You see they're quartered, right? Well, you could break them up into quarters and leave the other 3/4. So these two tablets are technically, if you break them up into quarters, they're good for 8 fires just out of these 2 tablets. All right, next is my second favorite, and actually probably the most reliable means of fire starting. And the only reason why I say that is because these are completely waterproof, and the packaging itself is pretty tamper resistant, so it'd take a lot for these to become compromised. And these burn kind of sooty, and it may leave a little bit of plastic behind. However, they provide a very hot flame, a very large flame, and they start fires very easily. These are the Sure to Burn fire starters. They're sold by a few different companies actually. These are packaged by, Char-Broil, and can be found at Home Depot for like $4 for 12 of them. It's not really that bad of a price, and if you've seen those, the Weber Fire Cubes, come in a package that have 24 of them for about the same price, $3 or $4, something like that. One thing you find is they're all in one package, and the film goes all the way across. So once you open one, all of a sudden now the air is open to all of them. Whereas these, it's the same type of material, I believe. Maybe a little bit different, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty close to the same. And they're individually wrapped, so you don't have to worry about them going bad. And that's the thing with this type of material, is if you expose it to air, it will start to evaporate over time and it will go bad. But like I said, when you get these, they are all individually wrapped. You don't have to pull them apart or anything. They're pretty thin, they're light, they're super lightweight, and it's almost a foolproof method of starting a fire. These are the Sure to Burn fire starters from Char-Broil, and I have 5 of these in here. Alright, my last and final fire tinder, and not my least by any stretch of the imagination, is actually Fatwood. Now I left the twine in there, I'll explain that in just a second. But Fatwood, I only have 4 sticks in here because that's all I can fit with the rest of the stuff in there. But Fatwood is a great natural fire tinder. This stuff takes a flame very easily, and it will light with sparks as well. You just have to get a nice fine scraping of it. But this is a great material for starting fires as well. And like I said, I've got 4 because that's all I can fit in there. Now, the jute twine is a great thing because these cubes that you have to scrape off so much to be able to get it to spark with a fire steel or ferro rod. And these also, in order to get to spark with a ferro rod, you either have to keep scraping to get through the plastic or just break it open. Or use a section of this, and what this will do is this will take a spark very first try, and it will create a flame for you, and that flame will light any of the fire tinders that I have in my kit. So this is, not only is it a good tinder itself, but it will assist lighting the others that are in my fire kit. And when designing my fire kit, obviously I wanted to create a lot of redundancy. The knife itself is redundant because I will have 1 or 2 knives on me already. The fire starters, obviously I have 3. This is the one that I like to have fun with. Obviously it's not the easiest, but if you set up your fire or if you learn how to set up fires to be able to start them with this, the other methods are going to be no-brainers. And then you have the lighter and the matches, and 3 different types of fire tinder, technically 4 with the twine. So redundancy is very important. And with this, I can, let's see, I really can't count the number of fires that I can start with this. The material that will be depleted the very fastest will be these, the Sure to Burn packets, because you have to use 1 per fire, so this is only good for 5 fires. And obviously the matches, but in both circumstances they can be, the very last resort. I do have other means of starting fires. I probably have, enough material here to start 20 fires or more, or if I'm very frugal, even more than that. Alright, well that is my current fire kit. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, do you have personal preferences for your fire kits? Do you have any issues with mine? Post them in the comment section below and I'll address them. Until next time, guys, this is Joe. See ya.